Hello drummers, it's Rob Linton here from drumstheword.com and welcome to this free mini song lesson where today I want to show you how to play the song Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John, drums by Nigel Ollson. As usual, I've got the PDF for you to download from my website for free. You'll find the link beneath this video. This is quite a simple song, but the intro, as we're going to see with the double hand hi-hat thing, sort of moves it to the more intermediate level. If it wasn't for that intro, this song would really be a beginner lesson. So we got a little bit of both for the intermediate and for the beginner in this lesson. So don't forget to download this page and have this printed out in front of you as we go through this together. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to understand. So like I said, the first part is really double hand hi-hat sixteenths, and it's the most tricky part of the song. It's dynamically the most tricky to read off the page as well, as we'll see. It starts off relatively simple where Nigel's playing 16th notes on the hi-hat, the bass drum is playing on all quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. On top of that, he's dynamically playing the accents with the right hand on 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we get this motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. Just what I mentioned just now, that if you're finding this intro too tricky with the accents and the open hi-hat stuff, then you could just play this through the entire intro. That'll get you through at least. But anyway, onto the second bar of the intro where the hi-hat sort of opens a little bit. It's hard to notate this stuff because is it half open? Is it quarter open? Is it slightly open? It's hard to say exactly how much dynamically he's playing with the hi-hat here. So I've written the whole bar is sort of open, and it's sort of your interpretation to sort of make that sound nice. You don't want to be playing, that won't sound like the song. So what we got here is the hi-hat's slightly opening and basically playing with the quarter note still on the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 sound more open than the other notes. Underneath that, he's playing the bass drum. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3. So we get this extra bass drum note the only time in the intro on the and beat 1. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 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 1. You can see there my right hand is really doing the accents there. The left hand is staying relatively quiet even when the hi-hat's open. So then we go on to the second line and the hi-hat closes back to this 1, 2, 3, 4. And then probably the hardest part for this intro is now playing the accents on the ands of each beat. The bass drum isn't changing. So without the open hi-hat we're getting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. With the open hi-hat 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So again you can hear the ands are being accented slightly more than the rest of the hands, creating that open hi-hat effect more on the ands than on the downbeat. So that's quite a tricky line there. Let me play those two lines, those two bars together for you and create a little loop, and this is perhaps how you'd want to practice it as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, if we go into the third line, you can see the way Nigel does it. He doesn't then go and 1, another accent on beat 1 of the next line. He actually just closes the hi-hat on beat 1, looking at the third line here, and then starts the accent downbeats on beats 2, 3 and 4. So that's what I'll do when I loop it round a few times. I'll miss out that accent on beat 1 after the last upbeat accents because that's what Nigel plays. So let me play around a few more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If you do accidentally play the accent on beat 1 after those upbeat ands, then that's fine, that'll work just as well, but no, that's not what Nigel plays on the recording, because that's what I've included. So that's third line, as I said, no accent on beat 1, but beat 2, 3 and 4 has that accent again. And then bar 3 is exactly the same, except for the second half of the bar where we get, it's more open hi-hat on the and only this time, so we get 3 and 4 and sort of a more definite opening and closing effect there, rather than just having it wash for the entire bar. It feels like it's more definitely opened on the ands. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and, so a cleaner open hi-hat sound there. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. By the way, you could apply that same open hi-hat technique to the bar above it. if you find that easier for whatever reason. Then on to the last line of the intro, back to 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've written the accent there on beat 1 because that's what Nigel plays. Again, you can leave out and just come back on the accent on 2, 3 and 4. And then the last bar is exactly the same as the second line. Well, we're moving to the ands, the open hi-hats, accenting on the ands only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. We then go into our main groove, which I'll show you in the next section. But before we do, let me now play for you the full intro, going into the main groove, which we'll talk about after this. Here we go. So this is where this lesson sort of becomes a beginner lesson, really, because the main drum beat is very, very simple, and it shows great maturity from Nigel to be able to play this simply through the entire song and not feel the need to overplay it. I don't think there's any drum fills apart from 1 or 2 crash cymbals. So we get this groove where you can leave out the accents on beat 1, 2, 3 and 4. The hi-hat is playing this. So you're hearing beat 1, 2, 3 and 4 a lot louder than the ands. But if you wanted to play, it won't sound the same, but it could get you through it. Or you could just play quarter notes, 1, 2, to really replicate that sound if you wanted to instead. But I'm going to play it as written, as Nigel plays it. And on the recording, it's some sort of electric pad tom effect. I found an isolated drum track, and it sounds like it's an electronic tom rather than an acoustic tom. So he's probably playing on the pad somewhere. But you can replicate this by playing up on the high tom or the floor tom. I'm going to use the high tom because it's nice and easy for me, but it sounds like a lower tom. So you'll play your hi-hat over here and just cross your left hand underneath to play the floor tom. So it's a bit of a stretch, a bit of a weird motion or position this, but that's how you can replicate that floor tom on beats 2 and 4. So we get this 2-bar drum beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and simple as that. The interesting bit is at the end of the first bar to the second bar where we get 4 and 1 and 2. We skip over beat 1 with the bass drum in bar 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. A bit faster with the accents on the hi-hats. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2. And then a bit faster. That's the main drum beat. And for 80%, 90% of the song, that's all he plays. There are some extra bass drum notes. I was umming and ahhing whether to go through the exact detail, but there's nothing else really complicated going on. You get towards the chorusy bit of the song and he sort of plays some extra bass drum notes. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. But it's all 8th notes with the bass drum and he improvises it. It's not sort of a set pattern that he sticks to. And that only happens in the choruses or just before the choruses. And if you wanted to play dun, 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 that'll work as well. So you could just play that one drum beat through the entire song and that will work for you. Before we finish though, let me now play for you that basic drum beat up to speed a few times without me yakking on over the top. Here we go. So if you've got any questions about any of that, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. This lesson was chosen over on my Facebook page as a place to make song suggestions. You'll find a link to my page beneath this video. So go over there to make your song suggestions. You'll find a post pinned to the top of the page where I'm asking for song suggestions. You get to type them in, others get to vote on them, and then the most popular songs get chosen for future lessons like this one was today. Don't forget to download the free PDF that came with the website. You'll find a link beneath the video. And then while you're at my website, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member at drumstheword.com. And what I currently offer for $97 is a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And that's over 500 full song lessons where, unlike this lesson, I teach you the song from start to finish. You get every single bar included, the full PDF drum chart is included with the lesson. And like I said, I've got over 500 famous and popular song lessons up on the website already, including at least 1 or 2 other Elton John songs, and I'm sure I'll be adding more in the future as well. As a thank you for signing up, I give you even more. I give you hundreds more videos teaching you many, many famous drum beats, fills, and even solos. I give you 3 ebooks containing hundreds more famous drum beats, fills, and solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But if you've got any questions about any of that, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.